Enchanted Ways. If this is your first time here, hello, I'm Danielle, and I make videos on spirituality, witchcraft, hoodoo, and topics of that nature. So if those things interest you, click that subscribe button and click the notification bell. Also join me over on Instagram at Enchanted Ways for daily inspirational quotes and daily card readings. So as promised, we are starting a new series on weather magic. And we're kicking this series off with fog. Bet you didn't see that coming. Pun intended. Okay, so this is going to be a quick video, you all. And I wanted to start this series out with fog. Number one, because I don't think I've ever seen anybody make a video on the magical properties of fog or working with fog in witchcraft. And number two, because in my humble opinion, fog is probably the most magical kind of weather there is. Now aside from, little things like meteor showers and all of that type of stuff, when it comes to everyday regular weather, I do think that fog is probably the most magical kind of weather there is. And once I get into the magical properties of fog, I think that will become clear. So what are the magical properties of fog? Visualization, mysticism, it helps with visualization. Mysticism, shielding, helps with meditation. It's associated with spirit work, spirit communication, energy work, astral projection, witchcraft in general, invisibility, travel in general, protection, obstruction, curses, warding, fear, patience, calmness, peace, past life work, and it is known as a liminal space. And basically what that is, it's a place where, the veil is thin, barriers between realms is weak, and it's a place where realms and dimensions start to overlap. So that's why I think fog is like the most magical kind of weather there is, because no matter what time of day it is, no matter what time of year it is, fog in and of itself is a witching hour, and it is a veil. Wherever fog is, that place that is now covered by fog becomes a place where the veil is thin. And so fog is basically like the Halloween and winter solstice of weather. And so I think that is just so great and so neat that you don't have to wait, a couple times a year for the veil to be thin. All you need is the right kind of weather. So that's why I feel like it's the most magical kind of weather there is. And it definitely has a very ethereal and supernatural feel to it. If you ever just stand in fog, especially thick fog, it doesn't feel like that's all there is. Or maybe it's just me. Probably not. I know it's not. But it just feels like there's something else in the fog. It just doesn't feel alone. It definitely feels like it's a spirit unto itself. Just to me, I just like it. So that's why I say it's the most magical kind of weather there is. Now, when it comes to working with fog, I'm just going to give you a couple of examples. So working with fog for curses. The reason why fog is perfect to work with for curse work is because fog is fucking dangerous. Millions of people have died traveling in fog, so it's a dangerous weather, and therefore it's perfect for curse work. It's also good to use in curse work because it causes confusion. If you're foggy headed, you can't think straight. It obscures your vision. So, that could be literal vision, or it could be your third eye vision. So you could, cause a person to not be able to divine clearly or correctly. And that's definitely a curse. When you start to depend on your insight, being foggy minded and not being able to know if you're listening to the right voice, can be very, what's the word I'm looking for? discouraging, for lack of a better word. I mean, it can definitely get to you. It can definitely be very stressful to know you have abilities and know that they're being tampered with, you don't know what's going on. So fog can definitely be used to do those types of curses, cause accidents. Like I said, his fog is all about travel, so it can definitely be used to cause accidents and curse word. And it can definitely be used to protect you as the person sending the curse, to cloak and obscure who sent the curse. You know what I'm saying? Like how people will make a baby doll of their target and then blindfold it so then the target doesn't know where the curse is coming from. So fog can be used in that way. Protection through invisibility. Now I have a whole series on spiritual protection, and I have an entire video dedicated to invisibility, so you can check that out if you're not sure how invisibility works. Spiritual invisibility works. No, you're not gonna disappear. You just won't be noticed. Okay. Like the whole, you can't see the person looking at you, but you can feel them looking at you. It plays with that whole element. So you basically become undetectable. You're there, but nobody's paying attention to you. That's how spiritual invisibility basically works. So fog is perfect for that. And like I said, as far as obscuring somebody's third eye vision, you can also obscure their literal vision. If you are a weather witch, if you can conjure literal fog, then for whatever reason, say you're trying to get away, you're being followed, you got some crazy stalker or something, if you can conjure fog, then that can definitely help you, and they can't even see where you went. Which is historically how fog was used. People would solicit the help of witches during times of like war, when invaders were coming, to summon fog so that all of the villagers could get away before they got attacked. So that's definitely something you could do. And I do have a couple of examples of how you can summon fog if you are indeed a weather witch, or if you just want to see, can you do it? Because you don't know until you try. Sure, there are plenty of you who are watching my videos who have never tried to summon any kind of weather, and you're natural weather witches. So definitely try these methods, and let me know, did you discover any latent abilities hidden that you didn't know were there? So, but if you can't summon fog, if you're not a weather witch, what you can do is to work with the energy of fog. Number one, wait for it to actually be foggy outside. If you don't want to wait, but you want to work with the energy, you can work with clear quartz, smoky quartz, thunder egg. You can work with certain colors like gray, silver, blue, black, certain tools like, of course, incense, smoke, steam, wands, besoms, branches, storm water, seawater, rainwater, ash, dust, mirrors, and gray candles. All of these tools are associated with fog, and so you could work with these tools to be symbolic fog. If you can't actually summon it, you don't have time to wait, you want to actually work with the energy now, you can work with those tools. And seawater is there because fog is associated a lot of times with sea, witchcraft, the whole, again, the fog being dangerous, especially traveling on the water. So sea witches will work with fog a lot to dissipate it for safe travel, or conjure it if somebody's on the water that they don't want to have safe travels, whatever the reason may be. So you can work with those tools so they can be stand-ins for actual fog. And if you want to try your hand at summoning fog, here are a few methods that you can try. Number one, boil storm water in a pot until thick steam forms, and then move the pot outside or move it to a window. Or if you have an outdoor cooking space, then just start the entire ritual outside and just boil the water outside. And get that thick steam forming. And once you've got that going, offer that steam to the sky or to the wind in exchange for actual fog. And if you want to, because each wind has a different attribute, the north, south, east, west wind, they all have their own unique magical properties associated with them. You could offer that steam up to a specific wind and have that added element to it if you want. Another way that you can summon fog, you can either find a sigil or a symbol for fog, or you can create your own sigil or symbol for fog. Write that on a piece of paper, stick that piece of paper in a pot of water, cover it up, bring it to a boil. You want to use storm water or seawater. Add the paper to that pot, cover the pot with a lid, bring it to a boil, and once it's to a boil, uncover it, and then just really pour your intention into that water, into that steam until the water is almost boiled out, and just really put your intention into it and really visualize fog. The same thing for all of the methods. You really want to visualize the fog and what area you want that fog to come into, for lack of a better phrase. And if need be, you might want to get a map if there's a specific area. If your visualization techniques aren't that strong, you could always get a map and outline, okay, and focus on that. This is where I want the fog to come. Especially, Google Map, if you trying to work with a specific target, work with your own house, I mean, you can definitely find a good picture of your house on Google Maps and print that out and really focus on, okay, this is where I want the fog to be. And again, for the second method, you're just pouring your intention into it until that water is nearly boiled out. So you don't have to fill up the entire pot, okay? You got to stand there for 3 hours waiting for 6 quarts of water to boil down. A little bit of water, however much you need, however much water you'll need to really pour your intention. It really depends on how deep you get into it, For me, it might take an hour, to really get in that space, or just not even get in that space. I can just be very thorough with my shit. So I just be sitting there enchanting herbs and enchanting the jar and enchanting everything before I know it, an hour and a half has gone by. So take that in consideration. If you're like me and you really get into the spell work, you might want to put a little bit more water. You don't want it boiling out and you're not done putting all the intentions into it. And if you're not that long-winded with your spells, or maybe you've been doing this for 50 years, you can raise energy like that. You might only need, a little bit of water. So it really just depends on how long it takes you to get in that space and really feel like you've put the proper amount of energy into it. And so you might have a set time or you might not. So just keep that in mind for the amount of water, so you don't get to running out. You start hearing sizzling sounds. It's like, oh no, I'm not done enchanting yet. So yeah, keep that in mind. And a third way, probably my favorite way, to summon fog, get you some storm water or rainwater and ash and put it in a jar. And you're going to shake that jar up while visualizing the fog to come into whatever area it is you want it to come into. And then you would place that jar outside. And once you've gotten, the results you were looking for, you can go ahead and release that water. If it was something benevolent, you were working with the fog for peace and serenity and things like that, then you can go ahead and just pour that water out right there in your yard. If it was you were summoning the fog for a not so nice reason, then go ahead and pour that water off of your property somewhere at a location. And if you haven't already, checked out my video on how to dispose of spell ingredients, check that video out for a whole bunch more examples on where you can actually dispose of that water when you're done. So yeah, those are 3 ways that you can summon fog. Definitely let me know how it works out for you. Did you happen to discover that, oh look, I'm a weather witch? Like I discovered, oh look, I have healing hands. Like I just tried it one day and oh lo and behold, it worked. A lot of us have abilities like this. So definitely let me know whether you had any success with those methods, and just tell me what you think about fog in general. Have you ever heard of this before, that fog can be used in magic? Let me know, you guys. So that is my not so quick video. I thought it was going to be quicker than that. Anywho, I guess I got the gift of gab. Anyway, that is my video, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for subscribing. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button, click the notification bell, share these videos, like, comment, all that jazz. And I will see you on the next video, guys.